I'd like to take the final couple of minutes to sum up, if I may. I am sure you would love to be running a reliable, regular, safe metro service with trains that aren't over 30 years old, that have toilets and maybe air conditioning, as you mentioned earlier, on tracks that haven't suffered from historic underinvestment, with enough seats for everyone to be comfortable, and run by staff whose pay and terms and conditions are sufficient that they don't feel like they have to take industrial action. And that you'd be generating enough revenue that you don't have to receive a subsidy from the taxpayer, and that you would run a railway that would get people out of cars and onto public transport, allowing us all to breathe cleaner air and helping Southeast London and helping Greenwich to achieve net zero. But with the cards you've been dealt, I've looked at the slides, I've seen all of the different things you have to be dealing with, and we can see it's not currently feasible. As the provider of last resort, you're effectively a nationalised railway, but without any of the investment or overriding objectives nationalisation would bring, and I think that puts you in a very difficult position. Steve, you said last time that you were ultimately responsible for the decisions that have been made, but we've also heard tonight that you're asking for help to make the case for the Sidcup loop, and that you were able to get funding for the additional route on the Bexley Heath line, the additional train per hour. And I think what I've been struggling with the most over this past 6 months is figuring out what your overall objective is. Is it cost savings? You've mentioned 10 million of savings from operating the new timetable, but you make a loss of £1 million a day. So you've only reduced operating losses by 2 to 3% at a huge inconvenience to your customers. Is it the simplification of your network so you can scale up and down as required? That makes it easier for you to operate, but it doesn't make things work for customers who want to get to where they want to get to. Is it improving reliability and punctuality? We have seen some improvements. You've showed us the improvements. It's still not good enough. The benchmark, as a lady pointed out, is very low. Butchering the timetable alone isn't going to stop that. So what's been clear to me is your overriding objective hasn't been what's best for the customer. And that's certainly not how it's felt, that you've been putting the customer at the heart of all the decisions because you have so many competing objectives. In a truly nationalised system, investment in the railways would be for the public good that it would bring, and a good, reliable, safe metro, all the factors that I've already mentioned, would have huge benefit to passengers and to South East London more generally, and would in turn have that virtuous circle effect that's been mentioned tonight. And the more passengers can rely on you, the more they'll use you. But I don't think I'm telling you things that you don't know, or that I'm making recommendations you wouldn't like to implement if you had the money, if you had the funding, if you had the backing from government. And I don't expect you to comment on that because I also appreciate you're in a difficult position. But I would like you to know that we would all like to work with you. You've made the offer tonight. I will be taking you up on it, and I'll make sure that we work together, because I think there is a huge business case and a huge case for restoration of the Sidcup line and for increasing our services back to where they were. And so I'm very happy to work with you on that. I'm sure the Cabinet Member for Transport will be very happy to work with you on that. But I would like to finish by just thanking you all for coming here tonight again, less than 6 months after you last came. We all know I don't have any powers to compel you to do so, and I appreciate that the time that you've made to come here and to listen to us all. There's a lot of strong feelings in the room, and it's for a reason, because transport affects everything we do. It affects which jobs we decide to take. It affects how we get to work. It affects how much time we have with our children when we get a late train home and we have just that tiny window between bath and bed. It affects so much of our lives, and that's why you've heard people tonight be so passionate about it, because these changes have affected people's lives. But I do want to thank you for coming, because you, like I said, you didn't have to. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to having you back. If you do want to come back on any of the points I've just raised, feel free. But I do appreciate you said that you needed to leave at 8:30.